Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel. So yeah, I got back from studying makeup in London a few weeks ago. So I just thought that it would be perfect to do Meghan Markle's makeup for my first tutorial back. So just a disclaimer before I start, I don't think that everything I do, like especially on the eyes, is exactly what was done by Meghan Markle's makeup artist on her. But I just really had to make adjustments so that her makeup would suit my eye shape. So yeah, I think her makeup alone made history because it's just so refreshing to see someone go that light with their makeup. And that is why I'm so happy to be sharing with all of you how, you can recreate something similar at home on yourself. So yeah, if you want to know how I achieved this Meghan Markle wedding look inspired makeup, then please keep on watching. So the first thing I started with for this look is skincare. Lately, I've been loving Happy Skin's new skincare line. So when I was away and the weather was really cold, I used this line for 2 months straight and my skin looked amazing. And as you can see, it already gives my skin like a nice healthy glow, but it still doesn't feel sticky and it absorbs nice on the skin. While that's absorbing, I'm gonna apply lip balm because nobody wants chapped lips on their wedding day or any day actually. So I'm just gonna apply the new Vaseline Lip Therapy. This is in Rosy Lips. It gives my lips a slight tint, which is always nice. I'm gonna apply these. This is the MAC Prep and Prime. It's called a highlighter, but it works so well like as a color corrector, concealer kind of thing. So the first is Bright Forecast. So I'm gonna apply that here where the darkest parts of my under eye are. And this Radiant Rose shade, since it's more on the pinker side, will really brighten. And I usually apply the Radiant Rose here where I am the darkest. So I'm not gonna touch that yet because I want it to get thicker and more concentrated. So I'm gonna let it dry out a bit. And while that's drying, I'm gonna dip into my two concealers. Spot concealing is really such an effective way to get the flawless coverage you want without necessarily having to wear foundation all the time. And always hit the corners of your nose because everybody has redness there. And I'm just gonna spot conceal some of these scars on my forehead. I'm gonna take a smaller, dense kind of dome-shaped brush, and like I've done before in my old tutorial, just blend out the edges. And once I'm done with the spot concealing, that's when I'm gonna take my ring finger and just blend in that highlighter concealer we applied from MAC. And I'm gonna take that on the inner corner as well because I wanna bring light into this part. In real life, this is definitely enough. So if you wanna stop there, it's fine. But just because it is still a bridal look, I'm gonna be applying Glossier Stretch Concealer. So just for a really perfect finish, I'm gonna switch to a brush. So as you can see, the combination of the under eye concealer with the spot concealing on the rest of the skin just gives me really flawless but skin-like looking skin. It doesn't look like I'm in a ton of makeup. It doesn't look like I tried to cover up too much. So I'm just going to take the same concealer and cover up my veins in my eyelids or any redness. So next we're going to move on to brows. And Meghan's brows are in between that very natural feathery look and kind of a clean, more polished one. So I opted for a powder for this look, and I'm gonna use the Benefit Foolproof Brow Powder. And then I'm moving to the darker shade as I get to the tail. I hit my nose, so there's a red spot, but that's gonna go away. So anyway, once I'm happy with the brows, I'm gonna use the Benefit Ready Set Brow 24-hour Brow Setter. Next, we're gonna be moving on to the eyes. I am not blessed with as much lid space as her, so I'm gonna show you guys how to do it, especially if you have kind of hooded eyes. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take a brown kohl eyeliner. This is Teddy by MAC. I'm gonna draw a line here, and I'm gonna take a flat angled brush and I'm gonna smudge that. And I'm gonna start blending that up to my crease. And then before that sets, I'm immediately gonna take a fluffy brush and soften everything. So I know it looks a little weird, but just trust me. You just have to work in very light layer so that the blending is perfect. So I'm really adding depth, kind of making the illusion that I have deep set eyes and I have a deep socket. So the outer part will have a little bit of an angle, but it's gonna turn really round here in the center. So you may be wondering, why didn't I just go in straight with an eyeshadow and do this? It's because makeup lasts longer when you do them in layers. So with this kind of cream layer underneath the powders we're about to put over, you're guaranteed that your makeup will last much longer. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take a very neutral brown. And when I say neutral, I mean it can't be too warm, it can't be too gray. It just has to be a perfect, like, medium neutral brown. So I'm just gonna start building that over what we just did with the pencil. And this is gonna soften out the lines even more and make our blend seamless. And lastly, with the smaller fluffy brush, we're gonna take a darker brown and we're just gonna add even more depth. And again, I'm gonna blend that all the way here to the center, blending it upwards just to create the illusion we want. And then I'm gonna go back with my concealer brush and clean out this edge. I'm just following the line my lower lash line would make if I extended it. But I don't want that line too sharp, so I'm just gonna blend the edge out. And the next thing I'm gonna do is give my concealer one last blend. And to set that, I'm gonna be using the Kat Von D Lock-It Translucent Powder. As you can see, my eyes already look a lot bigger. We kind of played with the shape a bit. And yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see how it all comes together. But for now, we're gonna move on first to contour. So Meghan has a really beautiful, kind of deeper skin tone than I do. So I'm just gonna bronze up my face a bit. I'm gonna be using the Tom Ford shade and Illuminate. I'm gonna use this to warm up my face before I really do the chiseling with the contour. I'm gonna apply it here, a bit higher than where I would contour, by my temple. Then with a small flat brush, I'm gonna just blend this out. Now we're gonna move on to contouring, which is different from bronzing because now we're gonna be recreating shadows in our face and faking that Meghan Markle bone structure that I don't have. So my favorite contour product is the Happy Skin Glisten Up. This is the Contour Cheek Stick. I contour really differently now ever since I went to makeup school. I'm very less is more now when it comes to contouring, but I'm smarter about where I put my contour. So I'm using a very light hand, like barely any pressure. So as you can see, this part already looks so much more sunken in. It looks so much more chiseled. But if I turn my head, you really can't detect that there's like any serious contouring done. Sorry, while I was contouring, my sister came home with an ube pie for me. Okay. So, multitask. So, I'm also gonna contour my nose. And I'm gonna apply a little contour here, because I want my chin to look a bit like sharper. And I'm gonna do the same to my nose and just blend really well. So I'm gonna use my Tarte Blush Bazaar. I'm gonna mix the shades Fortunate and Angelic. And that's gonna create like a nudish orange shade. And I'm just gonna apply that. So now we're done with the base. I'm gonna finish off the eye before I move on to the faux freckles. We're gonna go back to that same neutral medium brown shade earlier. And I'm just keeping this mega soft we're not using such a dark brown so that it's not too strong. I'm just gonna make sure that it's lower here on the outer third. And that's gonna make our eyes look rounder, bigger, and more almond shaped like Meghan's. And I'm gonna be using the Bobbi Brown Long Wear Gel Liner in Espresso ink. So just with a thin eyeliner brush, I'm gonna go here on my waterline. And then I'm gonna go in with my favorite mascara. This is Heroin Make. And then to this, I'm gonna be adding individual lashes. So they look like this, and I always get different lengths and sizes. And these will really just give the most natural effect to our lashes. So I put a little glue here. The easiest way is to use tweezers. Pluck one, dip the root of it in your glue. Then you tilt your head back. Keep your mirror low, and just drop them. So the trick is, once you drop it, don't mess around with it anymore because that's how you get them in weird angles. Once you drop it, just adjust a bit with your finger, but that's it. I'm going to build the most of these in the center because I want the middle part of my eyes to be like super up and round. There, the eyelashes are on, and you can see that really finishes the whole eye look off. It's very like Harry, marry me. And now the second to the last part are her freckles. I have done faux freckle tutorials in the past, so I'm just going to speed through this one a bit. So I'm just going to take a brush like this. You can use a toothbrush. I'm just going to wet it in a lot of MAC Fix Plus. You can use water, of course. Then I'm just going to dip that in brown eyeshadow. So I'm going to concentrate these here. And then I'm just going to press that. And for any freckles that I want to kind of wipe off, it's always easy to just go in with your concealer brush and make them disappear. So that takes care of the smaller random freckles. And I'm just going to use an eyebrow pen to also make the random larger freckles. And what you can also do is go back in with your blush brush so it will look like you have makeup over your natural freckles. Then for highlight, if you look closely, it didn't look like Meghan had any highlighter on. And I think because the way we highlight now, like with strobing and with, you know, how we love to look like glazed donuts sometimes, I don't think that's a timeless makeup look. So I'm gonna opt for the illuminating part of the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate. And when you apply just a light layer of this, it's gonna give your skin a beautiful natural sheen. So yeah, I think this is just a more timeless highlight. It just looks beautiful when it catches the light, and when you're smiling, you just look healthy and glowing. Lastly, we're gonna do the lips. After careful deliberation, I think that the best lipstick match I have is Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. So I'm just gonna apply this. I'm gonna smudge it out with my finger because I don't want that like perfect line look. This will just make it more natural. And that is the completed Meghan Markle wedding makeup. So yeah, with the help of makeup, we were able to recreate Meghan Markle's like big, beautiful, brown, almond-shaped eyes. You know, I just wanted to show you guys that there's always a way to adjust your makeup, make it work for you. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you all in my next video.